that I was very grateful to Councillor Nellams for taking over when I was ill. It wasn't planned, but he did do stuff for me, and I was very grateful. So I'm sorry he's not here to tell him personally. I just would like...
You can't plan with the yield,
No, unfortunately, no. So, declarations of interest, item number 1. Any declarations of interest? No street traders around? No. Number 2, the minutes. Can we confirm that they're a correct record?
I propose accepting them.
I'll second them.
Thank you. All in favour? Thank you. I haven't got any urgent items. Have you got any urgent items, Sue? So we go on to item number 4, budget monitoring. So can I hand it to you?
Yes, Chairman, thank you. It's really a very short report. It's mainly for information. We are currently running in budget. The fact that our income appears to be slightly down is largely due to the fact that they have finance hasn't taken account of the fact that we send our annual bills out in December. So December and January are the months we get about £10,000 in. So it's not properly profiled, if you see what I mean. So in fact our income is up by about £1,000 if you allow for that over the period. So I'm quite pleased with that at the moment, because it does vary so much on the number of temporary events that we get. So all in all, there's no problems, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Can we propose that we accept this?
I'll propose.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favour? Thank you. Item number 5, the statement of gambling principles. Sue again.
Thank you, Chairman. This is the main reason for this meeting today. I've had absolutely no response from anybody, so I have to assume that generally it was acceptable in everybody's eyes. We emailed everybody on the appropriate list, gave them a link back to our website where the statement of principles, the draft statement was, and I've had absolutely no response. And so I can only say to members that the recommendation that we recommend to full council that they continue with the no casino decision that they've taken in the past, and that the draft gambling statement of principles be approved for publication early next year.
I'm happy to propose those recommendations.
I will second.
Thank you. All in favour?
Thank you,
Thank
Chairman.
you. Item number 6, the review of straight trading.
Chairman, we agreed to keep this policy under review, and I feel that it might be useful if we were to actually invite the street traders to come in and meet with the committee so we can hear their views on the policy and anything that they might like changed, amended, altered, you can then make a note of and consider. And I'm suggesting to you that you might have a small working party, and I can see that I've actually made an error in page 62. If you could disregard that and look at the timings on page 63, those are what I'm suggesting at the moment. Wednesday the 18th of November we invite the street traders in. The 2nd of December is a working party, so it's just a date to think about at the moment. The chairman's notified me now that she's not able to make that date, but I think if we left it till the 18th of November, we could probably consider another date if members wanted to, and then we could consider the whole draft policy together on the 13th of January and take it to the licensing committee in February and the council in March in 2016. I don't know how members consider this.
Any questions? I think it's a good idea that we meet with the street traders. Some of them have had problems because of the parking. They haven't been able to trade where they usually trade. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my map to say where you can street trade, but no doubt when we're discussing it with the working party, we can sort that out. So, what feelings have you? Councillor Sim.
Well, I can see any issue. I would propose this anyway. I mean, I think there's a couple of things need addressing. One is gig weekend. Basically, they can trade behind Port Cressida and there's no footfall there whatsoever, and the roads are closed. And I think, you know, you need some sort of latitude so they can, I mean, admittedly, they can go down there. By the time they get a complaint, it's all over. But however, I think that I had spoken to them about it, they would feel happy if they were allowed to, but not on Holgates, that's impossible, but certainly near the park area. And the other thing is, apparently it's covered, I've been told, what it says here, that it's in planning. Port Cressida Bank, not so much the park, but Port Cressida Bank is an area of public enjoyment or something, it's covered by planning. And Craig doesn't actually have any idea about this at all, presumably he just doesn't know. But I think if we actually should try and get those areas moved into licensing, because I think it's a slightly ridiculous situation where the place where people want to buy ice creams is on Port Cressida and Lost the Top, and they can't. Because of, I guess, really a technicality which has been overlooked. And I think these are some of the things that we should address, and obviously this would be a function of the working party going forward.
Councillor Martin.
Was this one of these areas where there was a different category for ice creams than other kinds of?
I'm sorry.
Was this an area where there, because I remember there used to be several different categories. Do ice creams fall into a different category to other things, or is it one size fits? Yeah, okay.
So, can I, sorry.
Could you put your... It's the other side.
That one. That one there. Is that better? I just wanted to say basically what Steve was saying. It seems reasonable to use Holgate cream when it's not, when the when the gigs aren't there. It wouldn't, selling ice cream on Holgate cream would be quite a reasonable thing as well, I would imagine. I suppose there'd probably be complaints from...
I think you've got issues with Holgate's Green because of the dairy and Michelle's place. Really.
Yeah.
So I think that would be problematic. However, there's nobody selling ice cream anywhere near Port Cressida Bank, which is where the majority of people probably want to buy ice creams.
Yeah.
So, can I take it then that members are really interested in looking at those public enjoyment spaces like Port Cressida Bank, the park and Holgates?
Well,
So I'll invest...
Yes, I would say I am, yeah.
Okay. I'll investigate that further and hopefully we'll have an answer.
That would be great. So. So, could anybody express interest in coming on Wednesday the 18th of November?
Yes, I'd be okay for that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, if we fix that one, then we could fix the others at a later, at that time, if you see what I mean, if we fix the first one, if that's all right.
And will you invite the street traders
Yes.
in? And what time will it, are
Well,
we looking for?
I would, not knowing immediately what's going on that day, I would think that probably something like 2:30. Does that fit with most people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think street traders, well, they're not street trading at the moment anyway, are they?
They're not really.
And it's my birthday on the 20th. I'm happy to accept this early though.
Okay.
Well, thank you. So then, can anybody propose?
I propose, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. All in favour?
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 7. I think this is just for... information.
This is really for information. And really, you've almost taken this decision in the licensing policy already, which you did last year, that you're in support of me attending the pub watch meetings on the occasional basis. I have made myself known to the new chairman, who's Nick George from the Mermaid, and he has promised to invite me to their next meeting. So hopefully I'll have something to tell you the next time we meet.
Oh, I know there doesn't seem to have been any. Are they starting to have them, or are they?
They really only have about 2 a year, unless they have a problem, in which case obviously they have an extra meeting. And I tend not to go to those because they're more concerned with determining if somebody needs some sort of withdrawal from the pub, if you see what I mean. So I tend not to go to those because I don't feel that's particularly my business. That's theirs. But the two main ones that they hold, I've usually been invited to.
Any questions?
When was the last such meeting?
The last meeting, actually, that I went to was this time last year.
Okay. No, I didn't even mean necessarily the one you went to. Are you aware of any others apart from that?
I think they might have had one in the spring, but I didn't get invited to that, so I didn't know when
Just
it was.
I do think, I mean, if we don't want premises to be in breach, then we do need to throw our weight behind the regular taking place of these.
If it is on their licence that they join pub watch, is there any way that we can kind of make sure that they do it and go?
No.
So it is entirely voluntary.
Well, it is. The thing is that if pub watch fails, then they are technically in breach of their licence because there isn't one to join. So, I mean, you've certainly always got a hardcore of those 5 premises. But short of a shotgun wedding, as it were, there's no way to absolutely insist that they turn up to them.
So
It is in their own interest to turn up to the meeting so that they won't know what's happening, isn't it? I mean, it's in their own interest to turn up to the meeting.
What I will do is write to the 5 premises and remind them that it's on their licence that they'll be a member of Pub Watch, and give that list to the chairman so that we're sure that they get an invite.
Yeah. Can't do any harm, can it?
Okay.
Well, on that basis, I'm prepared to propose the recommendation.
all in favour? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
That brings us to the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Short and sweet. Thank you very much.
Short and sweet.
Wow.